Transmaxxing is the act of transitioning to another gender in hope that it may help you to escape inceldom. Apparently incels are now transitioning to be a woman so they can get laid. Cannot make this up. Why are incels turning themselves into girls? Transmaxxing is a subculture of young men who embrace trans identities not because they believe they were born in the wrong body or have gender dysphoria, but simply because they can and because they think it'll make their lives better. So there is a checklist apparently on this Reddit page that tells these so-called transmaxers exactly how transitioning is going to improve their lives. We're gonna go by this bit by bit. Number 0, I don't know what starts with number 0. Sexual excitement from having a feminine body. Okay, so this is what being an autogynephile is. I made a video a few months ago with my friend Jana, who is a trans woman. We explained the differences between the two identities or mental disorders, whatever you want to call them. I'll have that link below in the description for you. Number 1, the superiority of female aesthetics. Female aesthetics to me, again, sounds very much like autogynephilia, honestly. If this turns you on, like seeing yourself as a woman, like you wearing it and not someone else, that's autogynephilia. Number 2, access to the transbian dating pool. Okay, now pause. Now I know why you guys sent this to me. Now I know why you wanted me to talk about this, because this is just ridiculous. So you are telling me that you fetishize lesbians so much that you go on HRT to become trans or to become a woman instead of simply just dating a bisexual or a straight woman. Also, it's definitely not easier being a lesbian or dating as a lesbian. I've been single for 5 years. I promise it's not easier. They're crazy. Number 3, full body orgasms. Also incorrect. Males can have full body orgasms. I don't think it's as easy for them to. You have to definitely tap into it mentally. There's a lot of work to be done to make that happen, but it definitely can happen. Number 4, multiple orgasms from penile stimulation. This might be true. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask a few trans women friends of mine. What I do know for a fact is that you actually want sex less when you go on HRT as a trans woman. Number 5, your breasts will become sensitive. There are plenty of men who already have sensitive nipples, but maybe that's true. Number 6, you will feel emotions stronger and be happier on estrogen. This one is kind of true from what I understand. Once a person that is born male goes on hormone replacement therapy to start transitioning, their range, from what I understand, their emotions can widen. I guess the extent of their emotions, so to speak. It's not necessarily that you have mood swings or that you have more emotions. It's almost like coming off of an antidepressant. The negative and positive emotions just become wider again. Number 7, being able to attract cis lesbians if you become attractive enough. Again, with fetishizing lesbians, you're gross. Stop it. Number 8, being able to attract high quality males for sex. Not sure I would consider somebody a high quality male if they were with you knowing you transitioned just to get in your pants. That's also called fetishizing. Number 9, softer skin and less or no acne. Softer skin, I believe, is true. Less acne, I also think might be true. Number 10, live longer. I don't think that's true. We're gonna have to make a video on that. Number 11, being able to extract resources from males. What the fuck does that even mean? Number 12, you will no longer be driven to do dangerous and idiotic things due to testosterone. I mean, maybe. Number 13, stop and reverse hair loss. I think that might be true. Number 14, people will treat you better if they think you are female. Not necessarily. There are privileges that come with being perceived as female, and there are privileges that come with being perceived as male. It doesn't mean that male privilege and female privilege don't exist. It means that all privileges exist. In fact, in woke cities like San Francisco, you actually are more privileged as a trans person. Get $1,200 a month. I think I'm, move to San Francisco. Number 15, less likely to get killed. I don't know where they're getting that from. Number 16, access to female spaces. Males are disgusting. Gross. Number 17, cheaper car insurance. Okay, whatever. Going through any transition is not fun, even if you do have gender dysphoria. Just for a second, I want you guys to imagine these types of people doing it when they don't have gender dysphoria. Guided by a 73-page manifesto, Transmaxxers see gender transition as a revolutionary response to the combination of industrialization and biomedical technologies that they feel have eroded the financial and reproductive opportunities previously available to most men. So there was a time in the world where no one was woke, right? It was okay to be a gay man that dressed in drag. It was okay to be a straight man who cross-dressed. Then trans women, of course, started coming out, being more vocal, and then, of course, acceptance of trans people naturally followed. Of course, all of these things should be accepted, but this should not. And I'm gonna get spiritual for a second. Hear me out. What these men are saying is that if people don't see my worth from a dating perspective, I'm going to completely change who I am. How is that healthy on any level? That is not self-love. That's not self-esteem. self-esteem. Look, there's the outer world and then there is your inner world. Guess which one you always have to live with. And to be complete, we have to understand both. Inner peace is your inner world. The outer world is your mission and what you have to offer society, your gifts. By changing who you are, isn't that denying both of these things? Most people are stuck in ego power or fake power, where they confide in other people to see their own value or worth. My shoulder's being a slut. We're just gonna leave it there. A better explanation might be fake power is allowing somebody else's opinions of you to validate your own worth, to create the love that you should have for yourself. Yes, it feels nice when we get a ton of likes on Instagram, or when we get a ton of great comments, or when someone wants to sleep with us. All of a sudden, we feel like we are worthy to exist, worthy of attention. But is this real power? What if that same person or that same group of people started to come around and called you ugly and basic? You would be upset. I mean, most people would. What's really happening here is that you are allowing that person or those people to control the feelings you have about yourself, your inner self-worth. Why would you want someone else to control your feelings? Is that powerful? What this comes down to in a very weird way is that being a woman or being trans is seen as offering much more than simply being a dude who can't get laid. Or maybe in some way it's this weird idea of becoming what you can't attain. Also, something that people that are covering this topic aren't noting is that these guys might very well be doing this because the current society hates cis straight white men. It happened with young women first. All these young women are no longer wanting to simply be straight. They're identifying as queer, non-binary, gender fluid, whatever these things are. They dyed their hair, they started getting septum piercings, and all of a sudden they're showing up at pride parades. Interestingly enough, in a twist of fate, it is now starting to affect young men. New studies find millions of young non-binary and transgender Americans. Apparently, roughly 1.6% of American adults are now transgender or non-binary, according to a 2022 survey. The number is even higher among young adults, with 5% of people under 30 now identifying their gender as different from the one assigned to them at birth. Also, has anyone talked about how political this actually winds up being? Again, have you ever seen a non-binary Republican, a queer conservative, a Republican transmaxer? This reminds me of this video that I saw the other day.
I will no longer call a person queer if I don't see them participating in queer politic. You're gay, sure, you're gay. That is not the same as queer. If you haven't put a mask on in a week, not queer. You're just not queer. You're not. Queerness is supposed to be radical. It's supposed to be about supporting each other, helping each other, and making sure that we lift up from the most vulnerable of our community.
By the way, just so people understand, I have never been more happy in my life for someone to tell me that I am not queer. Number one, I hate that word. I don't identify with it. Number two, this is exactly why I hate this word and why I don't identify with it, among a number of other reasons. Queerness is supposed to be radical? No, queerness is supposed to be about being homosexual, about being bold and being yourself. Being bold enough to love yourself and to be yourself is radical. No, what's not? Changing yourself to fit in. Changing yourself so that you're liked more. Transitioning to become less hated. I mean, all calling yourself queer does at this point in the game is just make you seem a little bit edgier, I guess. Potentially get a few more victim points, which doesn't really seem radical to me. Also, remember when being radical was about not listening to the government? Remember when that was a thing? When the left was all don't tell me what to do, don't tell me how to live my life? My, how that's all changed. And people still ask me why I left the left as I continue to post videos like these. I hope this video once again explained it for those of you who do not get it or did not get it. Other than that, if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you do and click the like button because that helps me out a ton. I will see you guys back here in a few days with a brand new video. Until then, I love you, love yourselves. Bye.